Imagine spending your whole life wondering who your biological father is. Finally, you find him. You're ready to make that first phone call, that first real connection, and then you learn the most devastating news of all. You missed him by just days. Today, I'm sharing an update on a case that is one of the most bittersweet endings that I've ever experienced. My name's Tara Crawford, volunteer search angel here at DNAngels. In my work with DNA and family mysteries, I've learned that timing is everything. Sometimes we reunite families who never expected to find each other, and sometimes we arrive right at the edge of a moment that has already passed. This case is one I've been sitting with for a while, and with the blessings of our client, I'm sharing it today because it beautifully illustrates both the power and the fragility of what we do as search angels. Our client had been searching for her biological father for as long as she could remember. She tested her DNA, we built out her trees, we followed every possible lead, and recently we were able to identify her biological father. When that moment happens, the moment we know which name belongs to that missing space in someone's story, it is indescribable. She was nervous and excited. Reaching out to a biological parent is not easy. You don't know how they'll react, or even if the phone number you have really belongs to them. But she gathered her courage and made the call. A man answered, and from the beginning, something felt off. He was short, unfriendly, and gave answers that didn't fully make sense. He denied being the man we believed was her father. He said details that didn't line up, and at first we thought maybe this was just a biological father trying to protect himself, downplaying the truth, or just simply avoiding a difficult conversation. But something in the interaction wasn't quite right. Our client tried again, still no progress. When clients face this kind of barrier, fear, nerves, or a difficult contact situation, we do offer a professional liaison service. It's an optional add-on, but it can make all the difference because sometimes having a trained, neutral third party step in helps open communication when emotions or fears get in the way. So our client asked for help, and we stepped in. Our liaison reached out politely, respectfully, and professionally. But even she had trouble getting through. Calls were not answered. Messages were not returned. And when we did reach someone, we still weren't receiving clear or consistent information. So the liaison moved to the next logical step. Contacting the next closest relative connected through phone records and relational proximity. That decision changed everything. The liaison reached a woman. Her voice was warm but cautious, and when she heard the name of the man we were asking about, she paused. This woman was not a sibling, not a daughter, not a cousin. She was his longtime girlfriend. A partner of many years, someone who knew this man intimately, knew his routines, his habits, his life. And she told us something no one was prepared for. She said, "I've been trying to reach him too, and I haven't been able to." Her voice shifted, the tone, the heaviness. It was clear this wasn't about avoiding calls. She explained that they had planned to go on a cruise together. But before that, she had taken a trip to visit her son on the East Coast. And during that trip, she tried calling him many times. No answer. Not even once. So she told us she had a sinking feeling. One she just couldn't shake. And so she did what many people wouldn't immediately think to do. She called the authorities and asked them to perform a welfare check at his home. And that decision revealed the devastating truth. Police arrived at his residence. The home was locked, quiet, and still. And when they entered, they discovered that he had passed away. And not recently. He had been deceased for over a week. Just sitting with that is heavy enough. But for our client, someone who had just found her biological father, this news landed like a thunderbolt. You spend your whole life wondering who he is. You finally learn his name. You gear up for that first conversation, and then you learn he's gone. It was so recent, only about 3 weeks ago, that his girlfriend still doesn't even know some of the basic details. She isn't sure which morgue he's in, which facility is handling his remains, or even what exactly happened. He had no other living family. She was the closest person in his life. And that, too, adds another layer of heartbreak. But here is where this story becomes both healing and painful all at once. Although our client never got to speak to him, the girlfriend generously shared stories, real personal pieces of who this man was. His name for this video we will call David. David lived a simple, peaceful life. No cell phone, no internet, no social media. Just a quiet, comfortable existence. The kind of man who didn't need a lot. The kind of man who found joy in simple routines, in quiet mornings, in uncomplicated days. And the girlfriend told us something that hit our client straight in the heart. He would have been ecstatic to know he had a child. She said it without hesitation, without doubt, and without second guessing. He had no other children. None. And according to the person who knew him best, this discovery would have changed his life in the most joyful way. Imagine hearing that. Imagine learning that the father you always wondered about would have embraced you, welcomed you, celebrated you. But you found him just a little too late. This story is tragic. There's no way around that. But deep within it, there is something meaningful, something important for anyone doing DNA discovery work to hear. You may not always get the ending you picture, but you will get the truth, and the truth, no matter how emotional, gives you closure. It gives you roots, it gives you understanding. Our client now knows who he was, what kind of person he truly was, that he never rejected her, that timing and not choice kept them apart, and that she was wanted, even if they never had the chance to meet. That knowledge is powerful. It won't erase the grief, but it will soften the questions. It will quiet the doubts that adoptees and NPEs so often carry. Would he have wanted me? Would he have been angry? Would he have accepted me? Well, now she knows the answer, and the answer is yes. Sometimes our work brings joy, sometimes it brings heartbreak, but it always brings the truth. And in this case, even though the window closed just days too soon, our client gained something incredibly meaningful. The story of who her father really was, told by the woman who loved him most. So if you're watching this and you're on your own DNA journey, let this be a reminder. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Reach out when you're ready, because timing matters more than we often realize. Let's drop some red hearts in that comment box for our client. and for her newly found biological father. If you find yourself in a situation, reach out to us, DNAngels.org. We never charge a fee to identify a biological parent.